There's a quote by Albert Einstein. He said, "If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's gonna spend its whole life thinking that it's stupid."
That's true. That's true.
Now, welcome back to the channel.
Oh, that was it. I thought there was more.
I thought there was more too.
No,
I've heard of it.
okay.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So that brings us to our topic that we're gonna talk about.
I want you to judge me by my hair.
We're gonna judge fishes today.
Like that fish is stupid. Didn't make it up that tree.
Stupid idiot bald fish.
Stupid dumb fish.
Stupid no hair fish.
Yeah.
Beard only
Stupid
fish.
big fat whale bit fish. Stupid fat.
Today's topic, come on.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about education.
Hey.
All around.
Okay.
Yeah, and like what it entails. But if you're like us and you're a dropout, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button.
Gang it. You're not a dropout.
No, he's a dropout.
He is.
In life.
Yeah. Come on, bro. I dropped out.
Yeah, he dropped out. That's right. That electrical engineering job was totally
listen,
by chance.
If you listen, don't ever do engineering.
Yeah.
Save your soul.
There it is.
Also, what as you guys watch this video, please, take the time to comment on what your experiences has been with education, just stories or whatever you guys want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
we'd love to interact with you guys and get your feedback too.
also, if you are pursuing education,
Comment
down what you are pursuing, like what degrees, because we're gonna be talking about a lot of information here, a lot of cool things.
I go to the
and funny
University
things.
of Hard Knocks.
Oh, Hard Knocks.
I'm learning how to deal cocaine on the streets.
That's the street university right there.
Street
That's what I'm
University.
talking about.
Yeah, street university.
It's
right
in South
there.
Sag. So we gave V a challenge this week.
Oh.
We told him to find the funniest college degrees that are out there. Or I guess interesting. We should say interesting.
Interesting.
Because as we all know, V's not funny at all. So
I'm not.
For us to give him that task
mighty
was
task.
really,
Mighty task.
that's like telling me to get something off the top shelf. It ain't gonna happen.
I have to tell myself constantly that I'm funny, but I'm not.
Just to remind yourself.
Yeah.
So in your research, what did you find?
Oh, nothing. Thank you for laughing. That was
This
fake.
was a mistake.
Add in the fake laugh. So I searched the funniest courses also and degrees, right? So the first one I found was cannabis cultivation.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What university?
So this one is Amsterdam University.
What?
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. So it's also in Europe. So some of them are in Europe.
So what was it? Cannabis cultivation?
Cannabis cultivation.
Okay.
And you basically find the science behind it and best techniques to cultivate.
So to get certain strands out of it.
Yeah. But see,
damn.
are you gonna test your own product? Most likely.
Yeah, you about to get high.
I mean, if that college is in Amsterdam,
Ooh,
Yeah.
and it's
it's legal everywhere.
and
right?
it's called Amsterdam. Only makes sense.
It does make sense, yeah. But wait, is Amsterdam Europe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so is it like a 4-year thing or is it just a course?
No, they don't go in full details. Some websites did, but this one it just told about what you're gonna be learning.
Yeah.
But I believe some degrees are 2 and then some is 4. But
Wow.
the fact is that the fact is you're still going after this type of degree.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because you're like, oh, what are you pursuing? But actually,
what are you gonna do?
my bubbles, come here.
Yeah.
Tell Uncle what you're pursuing.
Tell him what you're doing.
Cannabis cultivation.
they call it CC on the streets.
So you take that. It's supposed to teach you how to get the most out of your grow.
Yeah. And then the next one is nanning.
Nanny?
Being a nanny.
Nanny boo boo.
Yeah, nanny boo boo. And this one, Sullivan University. And they made a comment that it's from Monsters Inc. But you learn etiquettes, manners, snacks, behaviors, all that shit, dude.
That's not real. Monsters Inc.
No. It's called Sullivan.
Hey, listen, Hobie. That was a
you look at the
movie.
wrong
Yeah,
shit.
I know. What I'm saying is, in Monsters Inc., there was a university called Sullivan, but this one's for real. Like 2 websites they cited it, so Yeah.
What do you mean this one's for real?
No. It's called Sullivan University, but they compared, but like Monsters Inc., the movie had a reference to it because like they had the same name. Yeah.
Because Sully was the character.
Yeah.
In it. Oh, okay. Man, I honestly thought you.
Yeah.
Monsters Inc. I was like, word.
I watched Monsters Inc. all night. Okay, I'm a little delusional.
Wait till you hear where the next.
Yeah. So this one you learn like etiquette, manners, snack plans,
Oh, for the kids.
So basically,
kids.
how to take a kid, take care of a kid.
communicate. Yeah.
That's actually not that bad.
Hey,
Wouldn't that just be like being a teacher?
But see, that's what I'm saying. But not really getting your teacher's credential. You know, you're still because I have a friend that's a nanny and she gets paid really well, man. And it's really
What's really well, bro? Just put it out there, bro. Ain't nothing but 5 people watching this.
well, she gets paid in Lunchables.
Oh, that's what's
Yeah,
up.
that's
Really?
what's
But the good ones,
The
The
good ones.
the
good
pizza
ones,
one.
right?
That pizza one is my favorite.
The good ones.
man.
Okay, so this one right here though. This is it. The Simpsons and Philosophy. This one is taught in University of Berkeley.
Simpsons and
Wait,
philosophy.
University of Berkeley.
Yeah.
UC Berkeley?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying the full title, man. Damn.
It's University of California, Berkeley. But that's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna let that slip.
Come on, man. Let it slip.
Wait. Say it again. What was it?
The Simpsons, like the cartoon,
Okay.
And philosophy.
and philosophy. But this is my thing, though. When I read that title, was it a way for the teachers to bait students?
Yeah.
Because like it's like, hey, Simpsons, but then it says and
And
philosophy. So it's
Sorry,
and also another question: How are these guys teaching? How are these guys getting the teachers? Right? Like, come here. Hey, so this semester, since you got a degree in philosophy, I want you to teach
Simpsons.
Simpsons.
Philosophy. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
So you get in class and they're like, "Psych, bitch, got you."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the philosophy, interesting. But it's a 2-unit course in UC Berkeley.
That's
No,
not bad.
but
Hey, that's a good elective.
Honestly, cartoons like Simpsons, South Park,
Yeah.
and
South
Family
Park,
Guy.
yeah.
It has some, yeah, actually, you bring a good point. It
Yeah.
has some truth behind it, like the way they portray humor
Like, yeah.
South Park's
and the real struggle.
grasp on like social issues
Yeah.
It's on
is
point.
good.
crazy.
It's insanely on point.
So
You're
you
like, dang.
So are you telling me you're the professor? You're gonna high five?
Professor Singh.
Yep, I like that.
I don't dress like this for no reason.
He shows at one episode per class, and he's like, "What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you guys
what
think?
message did you guys get from this this show?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Racism is bad." Good job, Johnny.
You guys just changed my mind. I would actually take that class now.
Oh, I would definitely take it.
Yeah.
If I had to meet a philosophy requirement,
Oh yeah, that's it.
I'd take that class.
Going
Yeah.
down that path.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one is David Beckham studies.
What?
Yeah, the soccer player. David Beckham studies, bro.
This is definitely England.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
England.
Yeah, 100%.
University of Staffordshire. Staffordshire.
Staffordshire. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it encompasses around sports science and sociology. But David Beckham.
So, but like, what about him? Did you get to see like?
No, it just said.
Like just how he was. I think David Beckham was the first real like. in soccer wise, first real international superstar in the modern era.
Oh,
With
okay.
like technology, right?
Okay.
Because you had Pele, you had Maradona, and all those guys before, right? And then you also had Brazilian Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo, the OG, the
he
good
was
one.
he was the OG. He was
good
the
one,
OG on the streets.
But if you look at mainstream soccer player, like, movies and stuff, like media,
Yeah.
Beckham was the first.
Okay.
I mean, they made movies about the guy. Bend it like Beckham, you know what I mean?
Bend it like Beckham.
Bend it like
like documentaries, like he was.
So he must have been good. The main semester. Okay.
You know what? Honestly, if you look at statistics,
Yeah.
he was not the greatest. Probably
But-
not. Probably not even top 10.
Dang.
But
really?
popularity wise,
Okay.
he was an icon because one, he was also a model, right? And then two, on top of that, like, people liked his personality and the way that he gave interviews and talked and all that stuff. One
a
of
lot
his
more to
biggest
it.
downfalls was he never showed out for England. He always let them down whenever he played. But there was 1 or 2 games where he did show up for them. And then, he was just mainstream popularity, he was the first one.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense. Nice.
And then after him, it was Ronaldo.
Is that your part-time job as
the
as a
one that we
professor?
know now?
As a professor, I teach David Beckham in philosophy.
Yeah. Go ahead and sign
So
up.
I wonder what they teach in that class, like his mentality.
Yeah, so everything that he just said.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think my guess would be that that's what they.
Don't guess. We know you teach that
That's what
class.
they. If I had a guess on the curriculum, right? I would say.
I bet you have a syllabus in your
In the
your
first
bag.
week,
Yeah.
I bet you.
Quiz.
Yeah, but I mean that's man, that's an interesting
Yeah.
for me because I love sports.
That might be a good one. That
would
might
catch
get you.
Yeah,
Man, if I had-
if there's a bunch of chicks in that class, there's only one reason they're taking it.
Hey, man, you
So-
already know what it is.
So what do you?
Pictures of David
So
Beckham.
far, what do you guys think? Which classes would you? Obviously, you would take this one. What class would you take so far?
I would take.
Probably the cannabis called fish. I know
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you profiled the shit out
I
of him,
did.
and you were right.
Yeah. I would take that class and be like, so who's gonna do it?
All right, next one. This I thought of you, Aman. This is Viking and Old
Yep,
Norse
taking that
studies.
one. Well, that one makes sense. That one's history.
This one, so yeah, it teaches history.
Yeah.
And then it also, I believe, yeah, it's a degree. And then it's taught in University College London. And then your third year, you get to move your university to one of the Scandinavia countries.
I'm fucking in.
Wait, so
Scandinavian
it's
country.
a whole degree.
It's a whole degree.
Viking and Old Norse.
Yeah, that's it. And the picture,
mythology?
yeah. And the picture of them were like literally dressed as
So
Viking.
you're
But
studying Thor and Odin.
Yeah.
But the benefit of it, the third year, he can go to any Scandinavian country.
Wow.
That's pretty
university.
baller.
Yeah,
That's
and-
Do we know
baller.
some Scandinavian countries like
yeah, yeah.
like
There's
Iceland
three.
and shit?
I believe there's three, right?
Yeah.
Finland.
Finland,
Finland's
Iceland.
one.
Iceland's got to be
Finland.
one of them.
What's the three right next to it? Finland.
Finland, Iceland, and Greenland.
No.
No.
It's Finland. What's next to Finland?
Oh, dang, you're interesting.
Just turn off Wi-Fi.
Norway. Norway's one.
I got no
Finland.
service here.
Norway, Finland. One more. Hold on, I got you. I'm gonna get it. And Sweden.
Oh, Sweden.
Sweden.
Sweden leading Huden.
Okay, all right.
Sweden, man, huh?
Sweden. Do you know how difficult it is to get your license in Finland? By the way,
No.
dude, it takes like
What kind of license?
Oh yeah, what kind
Like
of license?
driving license.
Oh, okay, I was like-
I was
Yeah.
like,
You gotta know how to J-turn. You gotta know how to get out of like an actual fishtail, right? Skin. You have to know how to J-turn. You have to have a minimum of 2 years supervised driving experience.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's
Why?
wild, dog. It is
Why?
wild. Yeah, you gotta know how to drift. You gotta know how to drive off road. Like
Hella
it's
picture.
crazy stuff.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Who are they training? Is my question.
Apparently, everybody's a race car driver in Finland.
Okay. All right, next one. Puppetry. Yep.
Puppetry, a degree?
Yeah.
Or a class?
No. I think it's it doesn't say which one's class or degree, but I believe this could be both. And this one, it says learn about lighting, scenery, costume, and everything else about to make it look all.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty much like theater. Almost,
it could
right?
be a course.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
who would go? Oh, I don't want to say
It's a
who.
puppetry.
The next one is education studies, and I was thinking about like education study. I gotta read that, so I started reading behind that. It's everything to do with Harry Potter.
Wait,
What?
education studies?
Education
That's
studies.
the name of the class?
Yeah.
Not Harry Potter studies?
No.
Yeah.
Education studies. Right. It got me too. I started
Hey,
reading
hey.
it. It was everything. Look,
Deceiving.
Look, it talks about Harry Potter and his struggle of being bullied
Oh God.
and being prejudiced.
So these guys are extracting lessons from Harry Potter and teaching it.
Yes.
First
Okay.
of all, Harry Potter being bullied was... I mean...
No. That's just some of the.
Yeah, I
some of
know,
the
but still, like, he was the strongest wizard ever, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
so
because
it's
he had
like-
that blood.
I mean, so I'm sure like it works his way all the way. I mean,
Yeah.
bro, you love Harry
So
Potter.
they couldn't call it... I love Harry Potter.
So you would.
Yeah, so every winter, right?
Right.
At the dawn of winter, right before I go into hibernation mode.
The crack of winter.
Okay. At the crack of winter, December 1st, we start with Harry Potter #1. Okay?
Yeah.
And then what we do is we watch the rest of the 8, but really there's 9 because the last one is split into 2, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I watch all of them, and then every night in December, I
Yeah.
watch a Christmas movie. So Christmas Carol, Elf, like a whole bunch of stuff. Sometimes Christmas with the Cranks, like everything. But from December 1st through to the 25th, every night is a Christmas movie night. You gotta let it play.
Does porn
That's a
count?
tradition.
Does
Yes.
porn count as like
Yes.
Christmas
Yeah.
porn?
His favorite one is Jingle Balls.
Yes. Backdoor Santa.
95.
Backdoor Santa 95 is a classic.
Jingle Ball season 7.
Yeah. Jingle balls in your face.
And also fuck me under the Christmas tree.
Oh, nice. That's
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Slut.
Yeah.
Was one of my favorites, actually.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting, man. Harry Potter study. I would take
You
it.
take that. You take that. That's your second course.
Man, so on the Harry Potter, okay, I fell asleep during almost every movie, every Harry Potter movie. The only one I ever finished was the last one because it had action, and yeah, I think the ones that I saw in theater fell asleep through all of them.
No, even in theaters, my boy.
Yeah, I think I finished the first one and then the last one.
How do you feel? How does that make you feel, Bubbles?
I'm very angry right now, actually.
Yeah, and I actually want my money back.
So if you guys are watching Century 6,
I wish
Regal Notomus.
yeah, give my
but the
money
worst for Aman right now.
Yeah.
He says that as I say, I love that movie so much.
back. You really did.
To make matters worse, I actually thought Twilight was slightly better.
Oh,
Son of a bitch! I'm so angry right now, dog. We're gonna stay tuned after this podcast because we're gonna have a special footage of me and Aman beating the shit out of each other.
you're definitely gonna see someone shining.
Yeah. Wait. So then let me ask you this because this always happens. Did you like Lord of the Rings?
Oh,
I loved Lord of the Rings.
Let's see. People that don't like Harry Potter end up loving Lord
Really?
of the
I thought
Rings,
it was,
and I don't know why.
Dude,
Because I loved both.
Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
is just better because it had action in every movie.
God, man.
In every movie, and the storyline was better.
But maybe the story, maybe the Harry Potter storyline was just.
I never read any of the books.
Yeah,
I only
Harry
watched
Potter?
the movies.
Like-
Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter.
you know what's funny?
I'm not gonna read the books.
I bought the books, never read them.
But for both, for the
No,
both.
for Harry Potter.
Oh, damn! You got the whole.
No, I bought like the first 3 books and never read any of them.
Damn.
Wow. Why did you even buy the book?
Because I was young and they're like, you should read. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, what's a good book? They're like, Harry Potter. Everyone's like, Harry Potter. And I was like, all right, I'll try reading it. I got like halfway through one. One of them I got to like 2 chapters, and the other one I didn't even open.
Wait, why would you even open the other one if you didn't finish? Okay, but my thing is, did you tell the full story that it's a coloring book? It's not really.
That is the true story.
Aman was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Last
What's the
two.
last two?
Last two. One is surf science and technology.
Okay.
That's all white people exclusively.
Yeah, that's
I would take that. That's
Blonde haired, blue eyed. If you would have survived the Hitler era,
yeah.
you're taking that class.
So they said you don't really learn how to surf, but you learn the science behind surfing.
that sounds boring.
What?
Then.
Yeah.
That's hella stupid.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest shit I've ever
Because I would want to go surfing.
Yeah.
You know.
What?
There's no-
So
you
you just
can't-
sit in class and just learn the
You just watch people do.
cowabunga, bro.
Yeah,
Yo,
bro.
so
Surf side, bro.
Surf side, dude.
Wow. Hey, shout
Let's
out.
get a burrito afterwards.
Shout out white boy. Shout out white boy Dustin out there. He's probably surfing right now somewhere.
Yep, he's
Yeah, out there.
In
He's
LA.
catching waves.
he's
Catching
surfing
waves. He's
in his
catching
tub.
waves and he's catching hoes.
He's
Yeah,
surfing in
but
his tub with a
he
rubber
ain't
duck.
catching feelings.
He ain't catching feelings.
He
Though.
ain't catching feelings.
Whoa! Shit, man.
That's an inside joke. And if you stay tuned, we'll tell you later on.
Behind the scenes, extra footage. Season 2. We're gonna reveal.
If you
how.
like the video, we'll tell you what really happened.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one is metal smithing and blacksmith.
Oh, I'm in. That sounds fun to me.
Racist as fuck.
Yeah.
Southern Illinois University.
Hey, let
Wow,
me go.
that's in America?
Yeah, that's American.
Alright,
Dude,
well,
blacksmithing, I think that'd be hella fun. Making
Blacksmithing
swords,
and,
I've been trying to make a
I was gonna
sword.
just say, only reason why I'm on
And
wants to do
metalsmithing.
this.
Bro,
to
I've
make
been
a
trying to
sword.
make swords and weapons that I can't fully use, but I just want to have them.
What about gunsmithing?
That was not no.
Yeah.
Really?
I think yeah, that's a good one actually. That's a good question.
Yeah.
That would be like that'd be some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
What, gunsmithing?
Yeah, if you're making guns.
That's actual art, man.
Is it?
Yeah, dog.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Man, if I don't know, man. If you're teaching kids how to like college
Yeah, I know,
students,
right? How to make
bro,
guns.
college
Look,
students are already we're already
somebody
shooting
gotta
up
make 'em.
schools, bro.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to design them. and
Have you
make
guys
'em.
ever seen Man at Arms? What do you call it? That little show on YouTube where
not.
they forge weapons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these guys are skilled blacksmiths, which I don't know where they learn their craft, but they'll make weapons from like famous TV shows, animes, and video games, right? So, and some of those weapons are like they look completely unrealistic. Like you'll never like super hard to make, but they'll make it and they make it look realistic and they make the weapon usable. Like it can like slice through things, right?
Yeah.
I remember one they made from I think it's from Final Fantasy. This guy they made so this guy had a really really long katana. So like his katana was like from here to like where to where that table is, right? Or the length of this table. That's how long the katana is,
Jesus.
right? And
You didn't even use that.
Yeah, but like so you would hold it like, but then they made it so you could actually use it. Like they're like slicing.
Was that light?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a very captivating show. Like
Yeah,
you will
it's good.
Wow.
watch the whole damn show.
Yeah, and they'll make
Just to see the end
weapons too.
result.
Like sometimes they'll make like sights. You know what I mean? Like
It's called Man at Arms.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they make it because they'll go over the details and like certain skills they're using and stuff. So.
You know what? Honestly,
cool.
that sounds really interesting. I can't wait to not watch it.
Hey, you gotta go back to Jingle
I'll
Balls.
watch it though, because I want to go back to Backdoor Santa. Yeah. Santa's little horse. Wow. So those are interesting degrees.
Yeah. That's a lot, dude.
Honestly, I probably only take like 2 or 3 of those classes.
I would definitely take the blacksmith and the Viking.
Oh man, you got a trade going on
Actually,
there.
they go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He'd be.
Can you
I was
imagine?
supplying the Vikings.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? He's taking night classes.
Yeah, honestly. But if he did those and he combined it with the cannabis cultivation, he would.
Oh my god,
He would rule that era. He would rule that era.
First of all, he'll get high.
He'd be supplying
at Tuesdays and Thursdays.
He would be supplying drugs and
Supplying the weapons.
and weapons all to the Vikings. Son.
Yeah.
That is true.
This
Yeah.
dude would be having buku bucks. He'd be so rich.
Yeah,
be so rich.
He'd probably be eating cooked meat back then.
I'm like, get it, Jester.
Oh my god.
So then we also gave him on a task.
What was the
this
test?
week.
Yeah, so my thing was theory versus application in education.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's the way.
so-
This one's big to me.
Yeah. So this one, so in today's age, okay. So let me start with a little bit of thing. And, you know, like
It all started in 1992.
all started in 1992.
Good year.
I was born
You were born 1992.
and I hated
It was
myself.
1991.
Yeah. No. So what's happening nowadays is our school system is super outdated, like insanely outdated, and like so like when the school system was developed, they developed it to produce factory workers, right? And like if you look at it, like the way it's taught in school is like you sit in a classroom, they lecture to you. You don't really. They encourage you to voice your opinion, but most of the time you're sitting there listening. You're sitting there listening to instruction on how to do a task or how to do the job or how to do something, right? And then that translates into factory work where they give you instructions and you follow the instructions to the T, and that's your job. That's all you do. Like you don't really like innovate, right? Or do creative process on top of that, But we've moved past, especially in this modern era, right? We moved past the factory era where, like, you know, factory workers were like, they were praised, but we don't have factory workers anymore. Now we live in the more modern era, right? Where like technology is different, innovation is different, but the education system is still the same, which is extremely flawed. So what they're teaching in school to kids and adults is not even relevant to the job force anymore. And then so what ends up happening is when students are going from the universities or the schools, they're going into the job field, they're like, oh yeah, I have education, but they go to the job field. But the thing is, now companies are kind of getting the hang of it to the point where they're like, oh, these kids are coming in, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
So they have to literally retrain them, and with a bunch of training. Like I remember one of my professors was saying, like, you know, his first job that he got was that he spent about a year and a half just in training, so they could teach him how to do his job, even though he had a degree in like mechanical engineering.
Wow.
Yeah. So like his degree is pretty much useless because they literally just taught him how to do everything, and like, cause he had to go learn AutoCAD from scratch and everything. And I was like, wow, that's wild, you know. So these companies are catching on to the point. They're recognizing that the people that are coming into a job force don't have any practical skills at all. Zero. They have theory. They know they don't even know. They kind of know.
Yeah, that's right.
They kind of know how things work, but they don't actually know. So the company has to reteach them everything and actually what the job is, how to do the job, what it all means, and they'll actually even supply some of the theory to it so it clicks. They're like, oh, this is the theory that actually happened, right? But that's what's happening nowadays. So what a lot of people are saying, like the education system is about 100 years old, but our technology is moving faster than our school system has evolved. So like there's a big disconnect, right? Our technology is going like this. Our education is like system is still staying the same. It's not evolving with the times. You know what I mean? It hasn't evolved over 100 years, right? So it's bad. It's bad. So like everyone that's getting an education right now, like it's kind of a waste of money because you're not walking out with anything practical unless you're doing a trade. Then that's different. You're actually learning a skill.
Well, you're really only paying for the
name.
the
The
barrier
brand.
of entry.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're paying. It's like an entrance fee. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. So like, the degree is like viewed nowadays as just as a filter, like, oh, you're a capable human being, but you probably didn't learn shit. Like, no, legit. Like, you probably didn't learn shit, but you're a capable human being. You're able to survive 4 years of material.
Do you think this applies to the top universities, like,
Duke,
like Ivy League schools, or like
I would say
Berkeley
it
and
depends on
Stanford?
the profession, right? But as far as like the Ivy League school, what I would say is when the field that they're going into, I feel like they teach them a little bit better because they apply the theory, but their main focus from those schools are their projects, and that's where the application is, right? And then they're able to take what they kind of learned into an application and apply what they learn from the classes to develop a project, and those projects actually carry a lot of weight. So when they go into the job field, they're like, oh, they always ask, they're like, oh, what are some projects you worked on, right? So they want to know how you communicated, because that's a huge thing in the work field, is communication with your teamwork. Were you the leader, and how did you communicate? How did you guys solve problems? Like all that shit matters, And then on top of that, what project did you make? And then like, how did your project go? Did it work? Did it not work? What was the impact of it? And that's super important. So the more like the more you're able to apply the theory to that application and actually create something that was like that was good, that was like they could actually use, they could market, right, is actually better. So I think those more prestige universities, they focus more on the projects towards the end of it, because a lot of the undergrads, they go through like their senior projects are actual real projects that they could use to do something. One example, for DGI, that was a senior project for them, like to create the stabilizer, the gimbal. Right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that was a college project for them, and then they turned that into a business.
So they ended up creating that while they were in school to pass like their senior year.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And then they took that with them,
Yep,
copyrighted
exactly.
it, whatever, turned it into like a multi-million-dollar business.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Before I'm gonna come back to the application thing actually, because I have an interesting story about that.
Yeah.
But you went to school in the military,
Yes.
right? And now you're going to school in like the public school system, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel like the military was more application or theory?
A lot of application.
Application, right?
A lot.
So do you feel like the quality of schooling and that the Air Force gave you was better than public schooling you're getting now?
Only because like the only thing I see wrong with the military thing is just because everything's super quick.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you a schedule of like a military class. It's literally 8 hours a day, every day. And you go in there, you're learning one block. You have less amount of students, about like 10, 8. You get one person and then one teacher. And they teach you, and everything they teach you, you get tested right there and then, right after.
Okay.
So
That's
making sure
that's pretty good though. I like that because it's like right away, kind of like ingrains it in your head, right?
So the teacher will teach you a theory, then you get a quiz, and you have to get a certain amount of mark in that quiz. So it keeps you alert.
Yeah.
And prevents you from falling asleep. But then again, people do fall asleep. It all depends on the teacher again.
Yeah.
And after that, you do that, and then you get a block test. So I'm going to school. I'm taking the class. I got quizzes that day, but maybe a week later I'll get chapter 1 test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we go to the next block. But while we're doing that, every class we've been, there was always an application process where we're doing something with our hands. So I really like that part about that. Is where we got quizzed on certain things, but now we're actually doing we're actually doing it.
Yeah.
And whether it be using a wrench or using a computer, you're gonna have time to do that. and then you get tested on all of that.
Yeah. Okay.
But like I said, the only weakness is, for me, was it's like super fast paced. Like I got 32 units in 4 months.
Oh, that's like the quarter system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. The course system's rough, man.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do it myself.
It was honestly like the reason why I chose UC Davis as the school I would drop out of was because, number one, when I was doing my research, I saw that they were very steadily climbing in the rankings. It was weird. Like year over year, like they were making like a very, very good progress. But one thing that I kept seeing about it was they kept saying that students coming out of UC Davis consistently, compared to other college students, were more ready for the job that they were studying in than other students, because it's a research-based school and there's a lot of theory, but you do a lot of projects with application. Right.
That's the key.
So I chose that, and then I took some classes, and I found that to be true. Like, I found that even though my managerial economics was what I took there, was not a traditional business degree, I was more prepared in the sense of like holding a role that was for business degrees than people coming out of other universities where they did business admin or finance or this or that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But going back to my interesting thing about application, right? Are you guys familiar with the firm McKinsey? McKinsey is a consulting firm out of Boston, Massachusetts, right? They are probably the number one consulting firm in the world. Very few people know about them because they've made it that way. They're very secretive. They don't recruit openly. They actually go and like take literally the top students. And I don't mean like, oh, they were top 5%. I mean like the top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. They'll go and recruit only those kids. If they don't go get those kids, they don't want anybody else. So they're behind some of the biggest business game changers in the world. You know, one of the projects I think that they had done was the branding of Jordan for Nike.
Dang, that's huge.
So they were now Jordan is its own $1 billion brand. You know what I mean? So they consult with a lot of stuff, whether it's branding, whether it's processes, whatever it is. They like kids from Ivy League schools and top schools because those schools do more projects than they do in class time of students learning
that
theories.
makes more sense now. That makes more sense.
So those schools are structured where you have to learn the theory on your own outside of class. By the time you get to class, you have to know it well enough to be able to apply it to the projects because you focus on projects in the class.
Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah. That makes more sense because they're actually applying what they've learned. You know? They're
ready. I mean, why would I spend, as a company, right? Am I going to spend the time and resources training you for a year, or am I just going to pay more money to somebody who's already ready to come in and have them bring in quality work from day one? I want somebody bringing in quality work from day one, dog.
Like you want less training. You want them to get to work right away, right?
If someone studies cannabis cultivation, at Harvard versus cannabis cultivation at Sac State, I want that Harvard dude.
But what if that dude that was studying at Sac State comes in hella high?
Dog. I'll be like, listen, I know you got the good shit.
I know.
The good.
Yeah. My eyes are red.
Like bloodshot.
But I can be having someone who getting high off their own supply, dog.
Yeah.
That Harvard kid gonna come in with that discipline.
Yeah, you know? The discipline.
Yeah. What else did you find out about theory versus application?
Man, so like I was kind of focusing more on the engineering side of it, right? So like the
nerd.
Yes.
Wait, how well prepared were you when you went into your job? Like, give me on a scale of 1 to 10.
Man, okay, I was fucking terrified because I felt like I was not ready
at
all.
But you faked it though.
But I was able to.
You made it.
I was able to get ready within a week. Like within a week's time, I was like, all right, I got everything I need.
Is that because of your schooling, or was that because of the company?
That was because of me. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because
because I knew dick energy.
Yeah. I knew what they were gonna. I knew what they were gonna test me on because I talked to a few people that they're like, hey, they're gonna test you on this or know this, right?
Inside information.
And then so I was like, all right, cool. And then so I went back. watch a few lectures, like to refresh my memory. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was like, oh, like this is a part of it too. I was like, oh shit, this too, So that was my preparation because like I kind of knew what they were gonna test me on, so I covered everything that was kind of related to that, and plus, really talked about my project that I did for the senior project that I did, right? And that was like okay, like you actually did something,
Yeah,
and that helped out a lot. So my preparation for that was like kind of knowing the theory, but also knowing the theory well enough to talk about the project with the theory. And it's like, oh, how do you apply what you learn into the project? And that was one of their questions. And then I was able to explain that. And they're like, okay. So that made sense to them,
That's a little bit of schooling then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit of schooling.
Yeah. And then, I mean, what you said earlier too about trade, like trade schools.
Yeah.
I mean, if college isn't for you, I would highly recommend doing like apprenticeship or something like that, man. Like blue collar jobs, they are gonna be on the up and up, and you will be in demand, and you get paid to go to school.
And it's a skill. Like it's a legit skill.
Yeah,
like
skill
like
labor.
Like for a minute, me and Vera we're about to go to UTI.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hey, you guys should tell that story about you guys.
Oh man, like we almost got swindled.
Well, like so basically, this is in high school. Me and Aman, we were in our electrical class.
Yeah.
It was an electronic class.
I wish I paid attention.
And we were really into that. And then, so our field trip, we went to UTI. And we're like...
Urinary tract infection.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes.
And they said I was infected. So I stayed there for a little bit. They asked for the money. I didn't give them. I ran. But anyway, so that was a dark night, dark times. So we went to UTI. And at that point, Aman wanted to be a mechanic. And he was really, really into like...
Because he was constantly fixing his cars?
Did you?
No,
he never fixed his car.
Yeah.
He really drove it till the wheels fell off.
Yeah.
Shout out to the last couple
podcasts ago
behind, but yeah. So we went to UTI, saw like all our fucking other seniors that graduated from our high school. We're like, hey, what happened to you? And now we know where he went to UTI.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh man, let's do it, bro. We're gonna soup our cars up. We're gonna soup our truck.
Super into it.
Yeah, we were like, oh, I can't wait to custom fix my custom make our truck.
But to be honest, like their facility was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really fucking cool.
Yeah, and we were super into it. Me and him were in the front every time.
Yeah.
Like they were giving us a tour.
Yeah.
We'd be able to like ask questions. Yeah, at the end they're like, yeah, so the tuition's gonna be $40,000.
And we're like, that's 40,000 I ain't got.
Yeah. Immediately we packed our bags and our pen
And we dipped.
and our dignity. We're bounced.
Dark times, but like the guy was really convincing. So we watched so we had a few of those people come in and give our class lectures. They're like, oh, there was one guy from like Wyotech, which is another thing.
Oh yeah, Wyotech, I remember that.
Yeah, what happened to them?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But UTI was saying like, UTI was doing the application thing though.
Yeah.
That was the difference is that everything they learned was at a mechanic shop and they did it. We saw them do it like everything, and that's why they were saying why they were getting hired immediately after, because they just had this deal where they got this curriculum where they're learning everything, they're doing everything, and then immediately they get picked up from Toyota.
And then they're selling us on the names. They're like, oh yeah, anyone that graduates gets hired by any one of those car companies like BMW, Mercedes. It's like whatever you specialize in, and we're like, what, Mercedes, BMW? Well, it's like, I'm trying to work on a Beamer, Yeah. So
they almost had you, huh?
Yeah, they had us on that hype, man. Like the guy showed up to my house and I was like, my parents ain't home.
Weren't you interested? No, you got the wrong house.
Man, the last thing I'll say on theory versus application is I feel like a lot of kids get caught up on doing just school.
Yeah.
And then they go out and then they try to apply for jobs that they want and they don't get it. I knew a kid that graduated from Berkeley. Right? He couldn't find a job for 2 years because all he did was go to Berkeley.
Oh,
he didn't do any internships. He didn't have a single job. All he did was take classes.
Yeah, that's rough.
No job experience, nothing. You know what I mean? It's like let's say right now something that's really popular is corrections, right? So I have a cousin who got a job in corrections. He doesn't have a 4-year degree, but he still got the job. There's people out there with 4-year degrees applying for corrections jobs or, firefighters or law enforcement or whatever, right? And they and they don't get any luck because they don't have everything else that it takes to get into that field. It'll be the same for any field, dude. It'll be the same for engineering.
Yeah.
It'll be the same
Yeah,
for whatever you want, right? You as a whole, as a whole candidate, have to be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just have a degree and then like the rest of your life is in fucking shambles and think that that degree is
just
gonna
got
make
out of jail.
up for it. Right? I just got done studying math.
Can you imagine the resume?
Yeah.
He's like, so you went to jail, but you have a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
You have a master's degree in
And you want the highest security clearance for a company? It's not gonna happen, buddy.
cannabis cultivation.
Cannabis cultivation? What's a course?
Yeah.
Really? Criminal justice, huh?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Like, so one of the things I remember from Sac State, like, was I was always jealous because the electrical engineering department was right next to the mechanical engineering department, and they had like they always had their doors open for the labs, and I'd be going to class, and I would just look inside, and these guys are working on the coolest shit, and they're over there like soldering and stuff, and like hammering things, drilling things, and I was like, and I look at my shit, I was like, I don't even know what the fuck.
Meanwhile, mine's flipping light switches.
I'm like,
Meanwhile, yeah.
it works. It works, professor. He's like, you pass.
So, my task was
What's your task? Tell me what your task.
Tasking.
man, listen, man, I'm the money man.
Yeah.
It had to do with money, dog. It had to do with financial literacy in education, or the lack of, I should say.
Okay.
The lack of, right?
Yes.
Let's say,
Lack of.
okay. So when you guys graduated, right? I want you to just tell me like what you know now versus what you knew then about finances. Okay.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how much did you know back then?
0.
I thought
Jesus.
money grew on trees.
That's what I'm talking about. What about how confident are you guys now on a scale of 1 to 5?
0.
Okay, V made
A
no
lot
progress.
better now. I know what a savings account
You
is.
know that money. You know that money no longer grows on trees. So
It grows in my neighbor's tree.
and I just pluck it. So there was a study done, and the top countries in the world were ranked. And as far as financial literacy for kids coming out of school, going into college,
Right.
the U.S. ranked 7th out of 15 out of the top 15 countries. We're behind China, Russia.
Jesus.
Okay.
And we're supposed to be world leaders, huh?
Yeah. Do you know what country we beat? Barely. Poland. Yeah. So Poland is basically on par with USA as far as finances go. Okay. So kids though, like high school kids coming out.
What's number 1, number 2, number 3?
I don't know what the exact ranking was.
Okay, but do you know, like, just top of your head, do you know any countries that were like standing out for you?
Yeah, China and Russia were better than us.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Dang.
those are our two biggest enemies. So if you have a financial war, they're probably winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. We're in debt. Well, U.S. is in debt.
To China and Russia. So
That makes a lot of
they're
sense.
winning already.
Yeah.
The reason why this is so close to me is because I always felt like when I was growing up, my parents had conversations with me about it.
Yeah.
But about 23% of parents in the U.S., 23 or 25, right, feel comfortable talking about money with their kids. That's it. Right? Most kids grow up not even knowing how to fill out a check.
Yeah.
When I was a banker at U.S. Bank, I had a 33-year-old guy come in, and I opened his first single checking account ever, just himself. And he asked me how to write a check. For the first 33 years of his life, he did not know how to write a check.
Wow.
So there's a huge... if you look at it in the U.S., like, it's really, really bad, man. Like, sometimes, I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. Sometimes I'll meet drug dealers that know finances better than fucking professionals.
Hey, listen, they got that shit down, man. They're dealing with it 24/7.
Dog, if I tell a drug dealer right now, right, if I bring let's say somebody who works for the state,
Okay.
and then I bring a drug dealer right now, I guarantee you the drug dealer is tracking his expenses better than that person working for the state. Like, I guarantee you he knows his cost, he knows his
expense,
everything, expenses, everything.
Yeah,
his profit, like what he needs to hit to make his nut for the month. He knows all that.
Yeah. No. So there was a story. They were saying that. So 50 Cent back in the day was a hardcore drug dealer.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
He
came up from the cuts.
Yeah, he came up from the cuts, and now he's 50 Cent. But they were saying that when they were interviewing 50 Cent, like that he was thinking like a Harvard businessman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he did build an empire. Look at it. Dude, Puff Daddy.
Yep. Streets.
50 Cent.
Streets.
Jay-Z. Fucking Marcy Projects.
Marcy, baby.
Jay-Z. Marcy, dog.
It reminds me of Dave Chappelle. Marcy.
Yeah. Marcy, son.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Right? Kanye, like
The streets.
like literally the streets. I mean, Aubrey came from TV shows. You know, Aubrey Graham, our Lord and Savior Drake. Shout out.
Okay.
But like, if you look at it, like these people, you know, came from the streets. But what's crazy to me is that now, like, our money is turning more and more on us. Pensions are almost non-existent now.
Yep.
Right. Company sponsored 401ks are going out the door. If you're lucky to have that still, honestly, I would never leave that company. If I was working 9 to 5, a company that gives you a sponsored 401k, especially if they're matching, that's gonna be obsolete in like 10 years. So we're supposed to manage our own money, invest, and take care of it, and we know nothing about it.
Yeah.
God, dude.
like a part of it is like they don't even like bring it into our field of view. It's like, oh, you know, it's like you should even consider doing this. You know, like they don't even mention the word invest in school.
Yeah.
Like not even once.
Yeah.
You know, they're just like, oh, give us your money, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. You know, your average kids graduate with over $50,000 in student loans.
I remember in school, I believe, like personal finance and all those type of classes, they're optional. Like they should be mandatory.
Mandatory,
right?
yeah.
Because me, as a dumbass, who would rather go to Target after class to eat ice cream with the homies. And what I'm saying is, if finance was mandatory, then I would have a 6th period or a 5th period.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But they left it like, hey, do you want to just call it?
You're like, nah, I'm trying to get out early.
I'm trying to get out early. I'm trying to go home. You know.
Yeah.
So I wish they made it more mandatory.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure they. Do you think they changed it now or no? Do you know?
No.
I think it's still the same.
Yeah. It's
With more technology.
Yeah, I think it's still the same, and I think that's why these apps that like help you try to manage money and stuff that are paid and they do so well, because everybody feels like they need it because they don't know how to manage their money. You know what I mean? Shaq is one of the greatest examples that I could ever give about a guy that came from very, very humble beginnings, but the simplest philosophy that his parents taught him, right, has helped him become like one of the wealthiest athletes ever, right? So basically, his rule is this. He's like, I made $1, right? I'm going to take that $1 and I'm going to rip that $1 in half. I'm putting 50% in savings, right? Now, other people, they live off of the other 50%, right? What Shaq does is he takes that 50% and he rips that in half. He lives off of 25% and he invests 25%.
Dang.
Right? That's his first rule. His second rule is that he will never invest in a product that he does not believe in. So he lost out. I think they did the calculation. He would have made close to $50 million had he invested in Starbucks when they came and presented to him. But for him personally, he's like, I don't drink coffee. And he's like, I don't believe in the product. I don't think that you guys are going to sell as much coffee as you think you will. So he's like, I'm not going to invest in it.
Wow.
Yeah. But he believes in working out. So he is the number 1 franchisee of 24 Hour Fitness.
What?
What?
Yeah, he owns the most 24 Hour Fitnesses.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yo, he's killing it then.
Yeah, it's crazy. He believes in fried chicken, so he owns Popeyes. Like a bunch of Popeyes. Bunch of Louisiana fried chicken. Yeah. So he invests only in what he believes in. And he also does not like spend on unnecessary stuff. But yeah, like those. So even simple stuff like that, man, is not being taught. You know what I mean?
That's the most simple.
Yeah.
Like, I wish someone broke it down like that to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
A financial manager recently released a table. And no matter what you make, right, he said that you should never spend more than 2 to 4%, or actually 3 to 5% was the highest. You should never spend more than 3 to 5% on vacations. You should be contributing 10% to charity every year for tax write-offs, and you should be saving minimum 20% of whatever you make every year. That's savings. That's not investing. So it's like
dang.
it's some wild stuff, but nobody knows these numbers. Nobody looks at this stuff. Everybody's out here just fucking
flexing.
Yeah,
on the gram.
Yep.
Flexing on the gram, dog. They spending more than they're making.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Gotta get them new Gucci's.
You earn $1 and then you spend $1.50. just because you want to keep up with the Joneses, and it ends up being, it ends up biting you in the ass, dog. And meanwhile, all the drug dealers are coming up. Hey, shout out to all the drug dealers I know.
Hey,
y'all made it.
Because the thing is, they smart, man. They're like, yo, hey, I gotta save this money.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's more important to be street smart than book smart, man.
Ooh.
Yeah. At a certain level, yeah, man. Like, I feel like two things. I feel like the streets teach you how to survive on your own.
Yeah.
Right. Which is like,
true,
which is just like overall life skill. Like, they could drop you off in any city, no friends, nothing. You'll be fine. You'll figure out a way to like make ends meet. So that's one. And the other one is like finances, money,
Yeah.
you know how to like get save your money to like pay your rent or like do whatever you got to do, right, and not spend it on dumb shit so you can survive. So I feel like it teaches you a lot.
I feel like the street teaches you like it's like the intervention process is where like they hit like that age where they're like shit gets real for them.
Yeah.
And then that's why it just clicks.
Yep.
And then that's when they're like, you know what? I'm chasing that money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's what we're lacking.
Let me ask you guys a question to finish off. My task here. I give you $5 million.
$5 million.
$5 million right now. Okay. All right. How would you grow that money? What is the best way that you can think of to grow that money? If I give you $5 million for you to go and invest in something, anything.
Ooh. Maybe cannabis cultivating. That's definitely
Maybe a Viking and Norse mythology.
Yeah, a Viking and
Blacksmith?
Yeah, Norse blacksmithing.
Making katana swords.
I honestly think for me, cannabis one, and then probably like invest in like stocks.
Okay. What about you?
Or companies.
Mr. Electrical engineer.
For me, so I would do two things. One is real estate.
Yeah.
And then one is real estate, and then the other one would be into the energy sector, just because I have familiarity with it. And like I was like, electricity ain't gonna go nowhere, so it's only gonna get more in demand.
Yeah,
so,
can I take my back?
So I would invest into more solar technology, like better solar technology.
Wow. You just got outshone. Well, he just.
Hey, cannabis?
He really fucked you.
Cannabis? They're gonna make it one day.
Man, you really just look bad right
Yeah.
now. I wish you could take your answer back.
No, I'm taking it back.
Yeah, so I would invest in more solar technology, green technology, and then real
100%.
estate. Yeah.
I'm investing more money in cannabis.
Even more.
Even more.
Taking the $5 million and putting my own money in it. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
And a solar thing, I actually just did my research on that. Mexico is doing a lot of solar energy.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you might just be one of those. You might be investing a lot in Mexico.
Yeah.
So here's a follow-up question to that. Let's say you're 18 years old and you just graduated high school. What do you think 18-year-old V would say if I gave him $5 million and I told him, how would you grow this money?
Cannabis. Cannabis cultivation. Man, when I was 18, what would I say?
I know what I would say.
What would you say?
I would like, yo, I'm gonna go get me a fat whip.
Yeah.
I'm about to go buy me a private jet.
Yeah.
Like, all that superficial shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to UTI.
Like, yeah.
That's
I'm going to UTI. I'm
like,
giving you a bunch of shit.
Like, you gave me that much money, I would just go flex. I would go into vacations, go see places, go party, go to Vegas, hookers.
Hookers. Not even escorts. Hookers.
Yeah.
One step below. What about you, 18-year-old V?
Yeah, man. I think I'll just get a lot of cocaine and hookers.
Wow. So 10 years. It's literally been 10 years, man. It's been 10 years since you guys were
way
18.
better now. Way better.
10 years of life experience has taught you that cocaine and hookers.
I'm gonna invest money on researching how to grow money
on trees. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you find out? Let me know, because I will pay to plant 4 or 5 trees.
Definitely
Right there.
Yeah. Our audience is here.
Well, what about you?
Welcome back.
What about you?
What would you do? 18?
$5 million. Answer the first question.
Yeah,
$5 million. What would you invest in?
Yeah.
And then the second one, 18-year-old you.
So as of right now, if I had to do that, I would diversify my income stream into passive income, and then like something that I have to actively work on. So you guys already know I have the plumbing. I'd probably open up like a different sector, painting or HVAC or something.
Right.
And then I would take the money, the rest of it, and I would build a commercial property. 10 units, 20 units, whatever I can afford.
Ooh.
Develop the land, bring in leases, right? Make sure that everything is rented. Bring in like a national talent tenant, maybe like a Starbucks or a Jack in the Box or something like that, and then sell that property and then use that equity to keep flipping and growing and growing and growing. 18-year-old me probably would have said, at 18 years old, I was working at Wells Fargo. So 18-year-old me probably would have said, you know, like you said, like maybe stocks and bonds, you know, investing in like actual
Netflix,
like investment vehicles, you know, but that's more volatile. So, and that's not really passive. So that's what 18-year-old me would have said. Either way, I feel like I would have been okay, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, you just never really
Man,
know.
but like,
Not me.
but that's good. Like that was instilled in you at a young age. You know, like you knew what the value of $1 was.
Yeah,
I fucking blew that shit on hot Cheetos.
That's what I'm talking about. Extra flaming.
He invested
extra
his whole dollar
Into hot Cheetos
at a liquor store.
in an hour of satisfaction.
So, if you guys are watching, which by now you're probably not, go ahead, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you would do with $5 million if it was given to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And hopefully it's not blowing on cocaine and hookers.
Is it give it to you in cold hard cash or just a number on the screen?
No, number on the screen. Wait, cold hard cash. Wait,
Yeah,
what's the
if you get
difference?
cold hard
Yeah,
cash,
No, cold hard, like in a briefcase.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in a brief. I'm gonna bring it
Yeah.
to you in a briefcase, and I'm gonna open it up, and then I'm gonna show you, and then I'm gonna close it
Immediately.
and then I'm gonna slide it over.
Immediately, cocaine and hookers. If you give me cash, if you
I'm
give
not
me
even
cash,
waiting. I already put the deposit down.
if it's just a number, I'm like, I'll just rent it later or something. But you go to Vegas or shit. But man,
Wow.
Yeah.
So it would be different if it was cold hard cash.
Yes.
Yes, it
Hella.
would go by even faster.
Hella shit.
Wow.
Because I was like, hey, y'all trying to go on vacation? I got y'all.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
Yeah.
pay for everything.
Get all the homies in.
Yeah.
Here's a milli.
We're gonna ball out like Drake. Wow.
Probably lose it in one day. But honestly, if we go to Vegas,
No.
2 days. Maybe 3 days.
What if you like bet it and you end up winning like 40, 50 million?
all in.
Damn.
Damn.
Then
You
go
come
even
back-
harder.
You come back and not even tell me, and you're like, "Yo, I already, grew your money 8 times,
Yeah.
dog." I'll be like, "Yo, take another 10." Thinking
know-
you're like the greatest investor.
See the
And I
thing.
didn't know that you were in Vegas.
See the thing is, I'd probably put all in at red on black 22.
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
gonna land on red 13.
Exactly. And everyone's like, you fucking dumbass.
You idiot.
I had
What
2
the
hookers
fuck
with
have you
me,
done?
and they're like slapping me. like,
No more cocaine.
let's just go to my room real quick. I just cry this over.
Yeah. Man, thanks for watching, yo.
Hey, we'll catch y'all next time.
Catch y'all next time.
Yeah,
And find out if we ever grow that money tree.
yeah. That's a good one.